Greetings, Goddess Body Mind Spirit community. This is Tyra Omilade, your Goddess Guru, and you know I love helping women align with their life purpose using the power of ancient wisdom and the goddess-centered lifestyle. I want to talk to you today about the full moon in Aquarius. It is happening August 19th, 20 and 24. And so, yeah, I won't share for very long today, but I do want to come on and help you to see this is a very powerful and impactful full moon. I hope that you all are doing well out there. And so, yeah, let's just look at what is the best way to navigate this full moon. Let me take this away so you can see my little presentation here. Just love you all. Hope all is well, and just be gentle with yourself right now. This to me is a stressful time, and part of the what's bringing in the stress. I'll make sure I show it to you because it's a part of this full moon. So yeah, August 19th at 20:25 p.m. Eastern Time. If you don't know me, I am Tyra Omilade. I am a spiritual guide coach and I'm also an astrologer. And so I love sharing astrology because I think it helps to explain why we're feeling the way that we're feeling, but it also gives us a roadmap as to what's next. What should I do? What's the best path forward instead of feeling like we don't have an illuminated path? You know, sometimes we hear this notion of we weren't born with books to help us understand our babies, which was us one day. We do. We have astrology. It can help us understand so much. I'm so happy that you are here with me listening today. So let's just talk about what is the meaning of the full moon. Well, the full moon is all about endings and culmination. So you could find something ending, you could find you completed a project or something like that. But definitely it could be about something ending. It's also about revelations because the moon is so bright, the full moon is so bright. You something could be revealed to you. It could be something you've been looking for. It could also be something that you didn't even know existed. It could be like, somebody was hiding something from you. And with this full moon, it potentially could be that. Somebody was hiding something from you and the full moon reveals it. All right. It could also have a push-pull energy, and push and pull is this energy of balance. So this is definitely a moon that's asking us to look at that push and pull. It could be on this is the way we talk about it. On the one hand, there's this, but then on the other hand, there's this. A part of me feels like I want to do this, and another part of me feels like I want to do that. It could be literally a push and pull between you and someone else, you and others. And this full moon, I think it'll feel very mental. It'll be these conversations that we're having in our head about ourselves and others. And this is a full moon that whatever that push and pull is about, you really need to take some action. And I think some of the push and pull, though, is about are we in balance? Are we out of balance? That's one of the topics that's coming up today. So Aquarius is always, always, always about certain topics. It doesn't matter what your sign is. And so for everyone, it's about progress. And I think that's something that a lot of us will be looking at. We've been working on some new things. Our lives are headed in a new direction. And Aquarius is always asking us, what kind of progress are you making? A lot of us have something unfinished, undone that we need to complete. And it could have started maybe in 2021, even maybe late 2020, early, or, and also throughout 2021. And Aquarius is like, hey, what kind of progress are you making right now? And are there any mental blocks to you finishing whatever it is that you need to start? So that's something that you want to think about. This moon is sciencey, so we could be hearing something about science with this moon. We have to remember Aquarius is a sign of society. So a lot of what we may see in this moon is topics about, for instance, progress in society or scientific developments, things like that coming out. Aquarius is also a very detached energy. So, in a way, when we have this energy of detachment and it lacks emotion, which, yeah, this moon definitely, it could be emotion, but it won't necessarily be like we're in a pool of tears. It's like we feel emotions, but it may not be super like sad or like um overjoyed to the point of tears. Um but Aquarius is definitely not a very emotional sign. So it can allow us to have this energy of detachment, and this is why the sciencey piece is so important, because it's kind of like, okay, let me look at this thing objectively, and there it's like you can see the mechanics of it, or you think about it in a more intelligent way, because Aquarius is a mental energy. It's an air sign, so it's all about intelligence. And so detachment can help us to just look at things more intellectually, and we don't really feel it as much. And that's a good thing, because one of the things that we're being asked to do is to make some improvements, some adjustments with this moon. So you really want to be detached enough to even know, what is it that I need to improve? What is it that I need to adapt? Okay. Um, so even though this is a mental energy, well, I'll just put it this way. It's mental, and so it will highlight our mental processes. I do think that a lot of people may be experiencing mental stress right now, if I'm 100. So maybe it's highlighting what you need to do. Do you need to do some more studious type work? Do you need to learn something new, instead of whatever it is that you're doing? Or would that help to kind of calm the mind a little bit, you know? Um, it is the energy of the spine, the spinal column. So there is like this whole element around the brain, the mind, and maybe this moon is going to help us to see, because the moon is, how do you care for something? How do you nurture for something? What is it that we need to do to care for our minds, our brains, and what we're learning? Again, Aquarius is all about big groups in society. And so it could be highlighting topics that are impacting big groups, society. Here in the United States, the presidential election is happening. And so there's I think that maybe with this full moon, we'll see even more themes come up around what's going on in greater society. Um, but it is maybe it's all the topics, all the concerns of we the people are gonna be highlighted even more. And it might even be some type of a breakthrough, because Aquarius is definitely like a breakthrough type of energy. So it could be some kind of breakthrough. Now, the breakthrough could be something around what we the people are focused on. Now, this is anywhere in the world, actually, because Aquarius is we the people. It's the everyday average person and human that's living in society. And so it could be anywhere in the world. But also, again, breakthroughs. It could be scientific breakthroughs that are coming through. It could be activism, some type of activism, and there's a breakthrough regarding that. Aquarius wants everything to be equal. It wants equality. And so it could be some type of breakthrough. We may hear some group that has been disenfranchised, all of a sudden, they have made inroads, and now they have more equality. They're going to be treated more fairly. Okay. And again, it is rebellion. So for sure, we can see some rebellious stuff happening with this sign, with this moon. People, I think we'll hear, I mean, when don't we hear people just talk, 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 talk? Even I, who could talk a lot and care so much about society on my personal social media, I will talk about politics 100%. But even now, right now, I'm just kind of like, I just want to be a little bit more quiet. But I think we're gonna hear a lot going on with people broadcasting messages. I honestly believe that the media in the United States is going to go through a major transformation. Right now, there's like a little bit of like the preliminary steps of what's gonna happen, and then Jupiter's gonna go retrograde. Oh, maybe around October. I can't remember the exact date. And so I really do believe that this moon is going to be highlighting something around the media. I think it's going to be highlighting something around just technology in general, social media, big topics like this. Because we have to remember Aquarius is innovation, it is society, it is scientific, it's also very futuristic. So this full moon is definitely going to be giving you an understanding of the future that you are headed in. Everybody. It is a very futuristic moon, and it is a moon that, even though a full moon is about endings and culminations, within it, embedded in it, is a planetary meeting that is like, you got 2 years of what lies ahead, baby. We got 2 years, and we're kicking it off. We're kicking it off. But it could take you in such a great direction where you're so much further down the road. But this does feel a little bit stressful, and it does require having more balance. It requires you, to a certain degree, having boundaries around your time, around your emotions, your energy. It asks you to put some boundaries around the places where you are just messy and where you could just bring yourself together, with those boundaries. It's gonna, like, there's gonna be this to-do list that you could follow, and you'll get that to-do list done and make so much progress over the next 2 years. But you gotta work on the mind. You gotta work on your mindset, your mental health, and, kind of keeping yourself focused. I also think that, again, talking about this energy of the collective with Aquarius, I really do believe that this is a time where it's very important to ask for support or to be a part of groups where you can feel supported. Aquarius is like, let's bring ourselves together, these big groups, these collectives. We all have the same intention and goal, and we'll support one another when we do it because, we have the same interest, the same, to a certain degree. It's not the exact same mindset, but it's very, we're traveling down pretty much the same path together. Because you know, Aquarius likes to be unique and weird. So this is something that could really stand out for us. Like, what makes me really unique? What's kind of weird about me? And it's always good to do that because that Leo new moon is like, what makes you shine? What makes you special? And Aquarius is about, um yeah, just really being weird and being okay with it. And so it's still this energy about like what makes you stand out. And it's a rebellious energy. Like, my husband is an Aquarius rising. And even before I knew anything about astrology and knew he was an Aquarius rising, I would try to say, Craig, you're like this, and this. And he would say, Tyra, don't try to define me. I am an enigma. I'm like, wow. So, it's definitely this energy of being your own, who you are. But we cannot deny the power of the group to get things done, locking arms with people to get things done. And I think a lot of us will need that. Now, I do think maybe working in a small group within the collective will be very important for all of us. So yeah, we may see activism and people protesting and that kind of thing, standing out. I also think this full moon in Aquarius will bring adventure, at least for the next 6 months. But, we're all kicking off on a whole new adventure. That I do know. And we can kind of see the path that we're on with this moon. Again, it has to do with technology and broadcasting. And so I just think that those will be things that are front and center in society. But also for some of us, it's kind of like what technology can you use that will help you be more efficient and get the job done better? Or, some of you all may be like, hey, I'm getting ready to launch my podcast or get on YouTube in some kind of way broadcast a message. There's also something in this moon about publicity for those who have a business or there's something you need to promote. Maybe you work for a company and you're a part of the publicity. It's interesting. Yesterday, when I was at the nonprofit where I work, I was telling my director, I was like, hey, we need to do this on our front window and do that. It's like we could get more publicity. People stand right here at this corner and wait for the light. And we could have something right here where they can read so they'll know what we're doing. So, it could be for who you work for, whatever, also. But yeah, people who are, want to publish a book and you want to get out on the airwaves and start talking about your book. So, yeah, so much adventure with this. So, these are just some quick questions that you want to ponder because the full moon is really a time to do some reflective work. Where have you made progress? Where do you need to make more progress? And how have you been adventurous? Because being adventurous is important, y'all. Okay. I already asked the first question. What needs releasing in order for you to make the progress that you desire? And also, how can you be more innovative? You're just doing the same thing over and over and over, and it might feel stale. So, how can you be innovative and do something new, freshen it up, So, those are things to think about. So anytime with a full moon in Aquarius, you can expect downloads. Aquarius is like all of a sudden you're like, I got it. It's like eureka, right? So be open to ideas coming to you in a flash. You may get weird, you may get progressive thoughts, even something could manifest all of a sudden, and it's like, "Wow, I didn't expect that." It's just like, I thought it, and then there it is, you know? It could just seem more pronounced because a lot of us have that, but it could just be more pronounced. So, yeah, something significant happening in society, something very profound, and it's something also could be a culmination, but I really do think it's something new, something futuristic, something about going, in a new direction, but it's like a brand new direction, one we've never seen before. Innovation is also heightened with the full moon. So this is why I was saying, um, there's this energy around needing support and needing to have balance. Because I want you to think about there's something that you've been weighing in your life. It's like, man, I really don't know what to do. I need to come up with a solution. And it feels like like when you're talking about it, you even might have your hands like a scale where one goes up, the other one goes down, right? Again, it could be something that you're thinking about with you and others. This came up for me yesterday where um, someone came to my class, my belly dance workout class, and I knew she was a belly dancer. I hadn't seen her in years. So this is her first time taking my class. And one of my fears in teaching a belly dance workout class is I don't consider myself to be a belly dancer. I'm a fitness instructor. And so it's like, will belly dancers come in and try to say I'm doing things wrong, which I know I'm doing the moves correctly because I was taught by belly dancers. And sure enough, after class, she told me what I didn't do correctly in one little tiny move. It's so and then there's just other things that are coming up for me as I, continue to teach, like, what made me stop before was there's me and me doing my best and me loving what I do and bringing it in my own way, and then there's other people who have opinions about how I teach, what I teach, and I just told myself, I'm not gonna be I don't care what people think about how I teach, I'm gonna teach, they can come or not come. If they never come, guess what? I will just stop teaching the class because I'm not teaching for any other reason than this is just what I want to do. And I just found myself kind of weighing things yesterday, like, what do people think? And I just told myself, not today. And what's the solution? Because that's something that you really want to be thinking about with this full moon. The full moon is asking you, you got to come up with a solution. And this solution needs to be one that's going to lead you into growth, expansion. It needs to be based on the big picture. A lot of us are a little bit, it's like we stay too much in the details. And so it's like there's the big picture and then there's the details, because we actually do have to look at both with this moon. And it's going to ask you to be coming up with some goals that will help you to solve whatever this is that's going on in your life. All right, maybe you want to bring in some spirituality. Something that I think would be good is gratitude, forgiveness, and you want to really allow yourself to have a new reframe. You want to see things in a new way, and that's what's gonna begin to help you to solve the problem. Aquarius is innovation. And it's like, well, what innovation, what new thing do I need to create to help me resolve this issue that is up for me? Okay. And you have to just think about what's going on in your life. And whatever that is, you don't even need to know all the astrology. This moon is giving you an opportunity to see it in a new way and take new action, because we have something going on in this moon where it's like over the next 2 years, it's about taking action. We're not thinking about it only. We're not only thinking about it. We are thinking about it a lot because we have so much mental energy in this moon, but we're taking action. Um, Also, gratitude, forgiveness, those are great practices to have. Um, and again, this moon can help with the publicity, the publishing. And there may be something about foreign travel, foreign affairs that could be coming up for some of us with this moon. So these are some things that will definitely be highlighted. So a lot of what I've been talking about today is what is called a T square. And a T square is going to be looking at a problem that is highlighted where you're asked to take action. And with this particular T square, um, we have it between Saturn, Venus, and Jupiter and Mars. So that is called um, a mutable T square. And so with the mutable T square, the action you're being asked to take is to improve something. So it may be something, it's like a brand new direction, but it may not be a fully new topic. Okay. It may be something you've been working on. Like I said, you haven't finished it. It needs to be completed. But it's like, what needs to be improved? What needs to be adapted? Sometimes we just work on a thing and we never even go back and look at the original plan to see, does this thing need to be refreshed? Do we need to um, adapt something? With that Libra energy that's in this moon, we have to think about, does it need to be refined? Okay. So it's definitely something that we're milling around, like, how could I make this better? Or what needs to be changed that would allow me to move forward, that would allow me to make some progress? Okay. Um, yeah. Adaptable energy is very fluid. It's very, very, it's very changeable. And so I think that that's something else that we can think about. It's like, how adaptable are you? Aquarius is actually a fixed sign. It is not very adaptable. But it's like maybe some of what needs to happen is you need to be more adaptable. You want to be more adaptable in your mind, your mindset, how you're thinking. You need to be more adaptable even in how you're speaking and how you're expressing yourself. Um, there is adaptability in, you know, I know we were doing things one way, but can we change it some? Like, what do we need to do to change the system and how we're showing up, and that kind of thing. I also think, with Venus being a part of this T square, it's like maybe there needs to be some adaptability in our lifestyle. And, Venus opposition this Saturn. Venus is across from Saturn, which is in Pisces. I really do think that it's like um there's something about the lifestyle that needs to be considered in terms of like, am I working too much? Am I not working enough? Am I wasting time? Am I overworking? Am I being a workaholic? And Saturn is like, get real. Saturn is like, we got to have a plan and stop trying to deviate from the plan. But we definitely have to kind of adapt the plan. But the plan is there because Saturn in Pisces is like, there's a part of you that just is not, this part of you needs some structure. Even though sometimes when I think about some people, the other part of this Saturn in Pisces, let me tell you what it's bringing up. It's bringing up all the things that you do that you're like, "I've been like this, it seemed like my whole lifetime." And this is not helpful. For some reason, I keep thinking about people who have, like, you're too rigid. And even that needs to change. Even Saturn is saying, hey, that's not working because it's like a mental block at this point. You're just stuck in this, just doing the same thing. So I don't know which part of the continuum, the Pisces continuum you fall on. You're either stuck in a pattern, you won't change, or you're just messy. You're like, it's like no boundaries on this part of yourself. And it just runs amok and it just creates messes, right? um that part of ourselves, we really and truly are gonna have to do something about it. And it will start with us working on our minds, our mindset. Maybe some of us need to get more mental health support. Maybe some of us need to, there's something we learn, and it's a lot of wisdom in there, but we haven't been following it. The solution to whatever this problem that you're balancing in your life or trying to bring balance to in your life, or weighing is what I'm trying to say. The solution is, there's some wisdom that we need to follow, something we have learned, and we want to begin to follow it and take action on what we learn, take action on that wisdom. I also think that right now, this energy is sort of like helping us to look at our skills, our skill sets. What do we need to learn? Or the ones that we actually have that we're not using, how can we use those? There's something about really leveraging having a skill that will actually help you to, make money. And because I'm telling y'all, we're in this age of Aquarius, so anything Geminian and anything in Libra will help us so much. So, yeah, the Geminian part, which is where Jupiter and Mars are, that's all about, maybe there's some skills that you can learn or apply, or maybe it's just like skills for living. There may be some basic living skills that you missed out on, and it's your opportunity to go back and learn. Because Gemini is more of like an early time in our lives, the things that we learned early on that give us a foundation. And maybe some of us with children, we want to make sure we're focusing on our children having just basic foundational skills for living. Be appropriate. Let's be appropriate. Now, also Mercury is a part of this this full moon. So again, that's bringing in the energy of the mind. I think this full moon can highlight a lot about, like, a lot of us would be in our heads like, "Oh my god, what is there?" And, it's like, "Is this helping me or is this not helping me? Maybe I need to release this," that kind of thing happening. The moon is the emotion, so it definitely could be highlighting something from our childhood, that is coming up, like maybe something with a sibling or a friend, maybe even something from somebody who was a leader in our lives, like our father, a masculine leader too, or a teacher, that kind of thing is rising up. And if it had a negative emotional impact on you, maybe this is an opportunity for you to reframe it and get some healing from it, to turn that wound into wisdom in your life. Okay. Um, let's see here, Leo. Oh, maybe it's something about confidence. And, it's like lack of confidence is contributing to emotional imbalance. And, emotionally, you can't make progress. And maybe this moon is going to help you to kind of see what happened that took away your confidence so that you can open yourself up to being more confident in life and making more progress. I think that this moon too is a lot about caring about society. A lot of people are going to be kind of like, um, I don't know, it'll just kind of bring up topics where people are thinking more because the moon is in, it's like, what do you care about? Aquarius, society. All right. And what else? Oh, and so then there's also this planetary interaction. Oh my God, with Uranus. Let me tell y'all something. Breakthroughs abound. Unexpected things could happen for sure. I think that it could bring in a lot of wind or thunderstorms. I know we had a lot of wind here, but it's happening. The moon is in Aquarius, which is wind, so it could bring in a lot of wind. It could bring in some fire also. So I pray that the Mother Earth will, be gentle with us, even though she's like, "Well, y'all be gentle with me." But this is definitely a moon where you could see a breakthrough. Uranus has been in this sign of Taurus, which is all about money and banks, personal finance, that kind of thing. So it definitely can bring a breakthrough. Um, but I think that what we have to remember is, um, yeah, just everything that I've said. We have to be willing to take some action, but in a way, it's kind of like, do you want to up level? Then this is what you need to do. It's kind of giving you a breakthrough around an up level. I'm actually kind of curious to see if something's going to happen with libraries. What else is going to happen with libraries? We got to keep the libraries. So let's see what this moon does for libraries. If we hear anything about that. Um, Let's see here. Oh, wrong slides. Here we go. I'm gonna take those down. That was the wrong slide. Okay. So yes. What needs to be released for you to make progress? It will make us more adventurous, that Uranus being a part of this full moon. And it will be pushing us in a new direction, though I don't think it's a brand new direction. Also, Mercury is retrograde, so that's the one thing. Saturn is retrograde. So it's still like a new direction, but it's in the vein of something that we've already been doing. And yeah, Aquarius is always a time to unleash the inner wild woman. So I think that that will definitely be something that you can open yourself up to. How can you be more of a wild woman? How can you be more of a wild woman? This is definitely a moon for entrepreneurs, podcasters, people who use technology, especially people on the internet, astrologers, scientists. Again, culminations or revelations around innovation. For people who are Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, and Scorpios, this can be feel like a very challenging moon. So, everybody, I really do think, it doesn't matter what your sign is, I really do think you want to consider, how do you keep your nervous system calm? Because that was one of the things that I brought up. It rules, rules the spinal column, and to a certain degree, the brain. And it's like, what can you do to keep yourself uh, calm in your nervous system? Maybe you need to take some deep breaths, some long, slow, deep breaths. Place your hand on your heart. Even if you cup your face, like when you cup a little child's face, very caring. You might want to cup your face. Um, I think that look, I'm a Scorpio rising, so I know I'm feeling every piece of this moon. Let's see here. All of the water signs can feel very emotional with this moon. But still, for some people, there could be this energy of you almost don't even feel anything, but you know something is there. It's like right beneath the surface. Even when you feel that, do something to settle your nervous system. All right. Aquarius is definitely a sign. Let's see here. I don't know. I just think that what I've noticed with myself, and I wonder if this is something that could be good for other people, is like learn something. Put on something that is um, where you can learn and engage your intelligence, be intellectual, like learning something like what you would learn in school. I think that's a good way to channel this energy. Um, or maybe if you have something that requires you to really think and kind of tinker and um, yeah, kinda look at, like, the structure of a thing and, it just kinda really has you thinking in a very but it more of a deep way because Aquarius is high intelligence, and so it's, like, thinking in a more deep way. I notice that's what I wanna do right now. I just wanna look at something that helps to educate me, and that feels like it's settling my mind, and, I don't know why, like, there's no movement that's coming up for me around Aquarius. Just do something that's a little bit far out, adventurous, but be safe just because Mars is a part of this, full moon and Mars is a part of the T square. And sometimes we do have to be careful of just moving so fast that, we get in an accident or something. Oh, maybe go like get out and go learn something out in the community. That would be a good way to really channel this energy to keep your nervous system calm. Can you go to a museum or if you like looking at antiques or something like that, or maybe go to the library. Since I brought up the library, go to the library. Maybe you want to look at some class that you bought where you were like, hey, I want to learn this new thing. I really do think doing things that are very Aquarius like will help you to keep your nervous system calm if you're feeling like that's super activated. So I'm not going to go through all of the signs, but I do want to just share lightly what this means. So for all of the fire signs, this is happening in houses that have to do with relationships with other people. So this definitely could be a moon that is bringing up topics around you and groups or one-to-one relationships that that you're in. It could definitely bring up topics around technology, learning. Some of these actually can be used for business. For some of you, it could help you network, maybe sign up one to one. I really do think, though, all of the houses that have to do with relationships speak to where do you need support? How can you be part of a group, even if it's just you and one other person, or it could be you and a great collective of people. Where is that fitting in your life? What is it that you need to focus on those? Is anything need to change or improve around connecting with others? And yeah, definitely you all will be looking at bringing a little bit more balance into your lives. Now, for all of the earth signs, these are happening in houses that have to do with making money, work, career, what you need to be known for. So on the one hand, it's that. The other part is it's about like how are you eating? How are you caring for yourself? Are you taking care of your health and wellness? And this might be one where you're really looking at your routines like, oh, excuse me, pause it. Fire would be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Boom. Earth would be Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Corn. So for the earth signs, You are also looking at, are you taking care of your health? What can you improve in your health? What needs to change about your health, well-being, routines, what you're eating? Also just kind of like, what are you known for? How are you focused on, like, are you known for what you really want to be known for? So that's something else. Yeah, that's what I'll leave it there. Okay, now for the air signs, this could be, even though Aquarius, I think this could be extremely stressful for you. It could have you really looking at a lot of, like, where's my life headed? What's going on? So Aquarius, you're a little bit different from the Gemini and Libra people. So, it could be very stressful, and you're kind of like your whole life is being illuminated in front of you. So it's something that you really want to just know this is what's coming up. So you don't panic if it comes up bright and shiny and you're just kind of like, oh my gosh, this is kind of scaring me. Um, but in general, for the air signs, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, this could be a time of good fortune, actually, a time where something is being illuminated where you're like, hey, this is kind of going my way. Um, and it also is a little bit about, let's see here, first, fifth, and ninth, who you are and connecting with what makes you special and unique and allowing that to shine. You might even actually stand out over the next few days. But also, it's kind of like, what direction is your life headed in? And you'll be very futuristically looking at it, like having a vision for your life, or maybe you're going to reconnect with the vision that you set up for yourself. And you're like, hey, I got to remember this and keep it up high and make sure I'm headed in that direction. It could be a fun moon, especially for Gemini and Libra, and where you're just kind of like, just enjoying yourself and feeling inspired. So, yeah, for air signs, this can be a very activating moon, but largely in a good way. Okay, again, for the water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, this could be a very emotional moon, which y'all are very, tuned into emotions, but it can feel extra emotional for you all. And you're being asked to look at what needs to be healed, what needs to be healed around emotions or family. You might be looking at, there's some past wounding that has come up. There's some deep, deep healing that you need to do. Could be body, mind, spirit, emotions. And what is it that needs to be healed up around that? Um, it could be that inner world, that inner landscape. Your subconscious mind is bringing something up, and and sometimes it'll feel like, well, why am I thinking about that? Well, the subconscious mind has determined you're ready to handle it and to resolve it and release it and let it go. So it could be something like that. Now, this moon, you could be the most intuitive. You're already super intuitive, but it could be like intuition times 10 for the water signs. So, definitely, uh, just be okay with feeling extra spiritual and intuitive. And by the same token, you might want to do something to really, um, I don't know how to better say it because sometimes people don't like to hear protect your energy, but it's the only words I have right now. You want to do something to contain your energy so it's not just mixing up with everybody. All right. You don't want to be taking on, you don't want to be like the the community empath in a way where it's just unchecked. That's what I mean by protect your energy. It's just how it is for you with this full moon. But I do think that you can have some beautiful intuitive hits and downloads where you're just like, wow, okay, I see this. If you also, it's definitely about healing. So something could happen and you get this healing that you've been looking for. And let's see here, could be very spiritual. So maybe you feel extra spiritual. Some of you may be wanting to focus a little bit more on the home, or there's something being highlighted or revealed to you on the home front, the family front. And also, this is one where you might want to connect with something ancestral, something ancient. something deeply, deeply spiritual. So, that's what I have for you all today. I wish you all a happy full moon in Aquarius. May you manifest your heart's greatest desires. May this moon be gentle, and may the path forward be one where you're able to traverse it easily and effortlessly, and it be a beautiful and positive experience for you. Blessings from the mothers, the great mother, and the ancestors be upon you and your family now and always. I appreciate you for being here. If you would please, if you got anything from my video, please give my video a like. I appreciate that so much. I love it when you all comment. So if you would also leave a comment. What did you get from the what I shared with you all today? Again, have a great one and connect soon, queens. All right. Peace and love. Happy full moon.